Business time. Kenya's economy grew at a slower pace in 2024, expanding by 4.7% compared to 5.7% in 2023. While sectors like agriculture and manufacturing showed signs of resilience, job creation and the private sector activity remained under pressure. The latest economic survey from the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics highlights a recovery weighed down by costly credit, floods and political uncertainty. Here's Wangoi.
The country's economic momentum eased in 2024, with GDP growth slipping to 4.7% from 5.7% in 2023.
Our gross domestic product in nominal terms, as has been explained by Dr. Budho, was 16.2 trillion shillings.
The slowdown was mainly driven by high credit costs, widespread flooding and disruptions linked to anti-tax protests. Still, key sectors such as agriculture, forestry, fishing and financial services kept the economy afloat.
We note that in the 5-year period since 2020, last year recorded the highest amount of rainfall. But remember, much of it came in terms of informal floods, which then was also not very productive. And in fact, that is part of the reason as to why our maize production also went down.
These negative shocks have impacted economic activities and increased the cost of living, underscoring the need for robust and targeted interventions.
Job creation declined. The economy added 782,300 jobs, down from 848,100 the previous year. Manufacturing led in new employment, followed by agriculture and wholesale and retail trade. 90% of these new jobs were in the informal sector. Overall formal employment rose slightly to 3.21 million people. The total number of employed Kenyans, both in the formal and informal sector, now stands at 20.7 million people.
The formal sector only contributed to 78,000 new jobs, while the informal sector, predominantly driven by micro, small and medium enterprises, accounted for 703,000 new jobs. This therefore underscores the critical role of the informal sector as the primary source of employment.
The country's total wage bill grew by 7.2% to just under 3 trillion shillings. The private sector accounted for the bulk of this at over 2.1 trillion shillings, while the public sector wage bill stood at 881.4 billion shillings. Manufacturing performance showed improvement, growing by 2.8%, up from 2.2% in 2023. The sector contributed 7.3% to GDP, with a 4.4% rise in output. Formal manufacturing jobs increased by 1.9%, driven in part by a 72.5% rebound in sugar production. Meanwhile, in 2024, inflation dropped sharply to 4.5%, its lowest level in 5 years, bringing some relief to consumers. But credit to the private sector shrunk as banks preferred to lend to the national government, increasing that by nearly 14%. Wangoi, Citizen TV.